Hello, my name is Jeff. This is 2A Self-Defense Law. What we do is we help people understand the law of self-defense in the simplest terms possible. Hopefully we take the fear out of getting it wrong. What have we been working on lately? The innocent standard and how brandishing can get you into trouble. If you have a gun, we've been seeing this a lot lately, you need to stay clear of conflict. You really do. I'm not saying that you have to not disagree with somebody, but you need to stay out of that conflict situation where something can escalate if someone did you wrong, or if you're parked illegally in a handicap zone. And we'll be talking about that next week, about the shooting of an unarmed black man from parking in a handicap parking spot. We'll be talking about that a lot lately, but it incorporates what we're dealing with. If you have a concealed carry, if you have a handgun, you need to be like Mother Teresa all the time. You cannot get into a disagreement or a road rage situation like this. This is going to be set up by a little bit of a narrative.
Road rage incident. I guess this guy got upset with the way somebody was driving, who possibly cut him off, and ended up, I guess, exchanging words, cutting each other off, and he took a firearm, waved it outside the window, and started, I don't know if he pointed it at her, but he was definitely displaying it.
Okay, we got the general overall picture of what the complainant has already said. Now, when you listen to her, I don't see anything in her facial expressions would constitute a lie. The flapping of the eyes, okay, the way that she is looking, whatever. When you listen to her, I truly believe that she feels that she saw a handgun. But let's go ahead and take a look at this.
He just cut me off, slammed on his brakes for no reason. I was like, what the heck? So I slowed down, got into the left lane, tried to go around him. That's when he pointed the gun at me, and then I slowed down so that he would get further up, and he pulled over, so I ended up calling the cops and getting his plate number.
Okay. Can you kind of...
Now, did you listen to her? Okay, I have to stop here because A&E will ding this for a copyright violation, even though that this is the classic use of fair use, okay? Did you listen to her? Did she have any of the facial tics that constitute a lie? I truly believe, again, she was probably in condition white when she's driving down the road and totally oblivious to everything. And she probably did cut him off. Again, if someone cuts you off on the road and you have a handgun, are you going to elevate a little bit and say, hey, you need to get, well, you'll hear his story a little bit here.
Tell me what's going on, bud.
Okay, I just got done dropping off my Uber up in Spring Hill.
Okay.
I'm coming down, I'm doing the speed.
You're an Uber driver?
I am.
Okay.
I'm driving down South 19, and I was passing that woman over there, not Kia Soul, and she's sitting on her phone and she's weaving, so I got in front of her and I just tapped my brake lights.
Okay, you've heard this a little bit. Tapping the brake lights. What are you really doing? Are you escalating the fight? Are you provoking a fight in some aspect? Are you truly the innocent party trying to correct someone's bad behavior?
And then she flashed her high beams and then zipped around me. And
was there a lot of traffic around there?
No.
And so you got in front of her, you tapped on her brakes a little bit. Kind of, I get it. Kind of like to wake her up, say, hey, get off the damn phone, right?
Now, this is the thing that differs. Now, you listen to both stories. They're pretty much similar, but this is where it changes a little. And I don't know if this is editing. I don't know it, but the guy, the Uber driver, he's the one who said that he poked his phone out the window. The officer hasn't asked him what we've seen. did you put a gun out the window? So basically what he is already doing, he is telling his story, and he is not reacting to cover for something bad. Again, I don't know if this is an editing thing, but this is a sequence of how it's been presented to me.
I stuck my phone out the window and I said, like, get off the phone.
Okay.
See, that's the thing. He stuck his phone outside the window. All right?
That's all I did.
Okay. What kind of phone do you have?
I have Samsung.
Samsung. What color is it?
It's blue.
Blue.
Black.
How would...
See, it's blue and black. Now he's going to be answering a question. All right? So this is the reason why I believe that the Uber driver presented that he stuck a phone out the window. He's not ahead of the officer saying, hey, I need to say that I need to get the phone out the window before he asks me about this question right here, okay?
Would you know that you had a handgun in the car?
I have absolutely no idea. Maybe just to get me into trouble.
This is ethical preparedness video. He does great information. He is a law enforcement guy. He is an instructor, and he also instructs in the use of deadly force. He trains his other cops with deadly force, and the law allowing that. He does great videos over a period of time. He is getting better and better and better presenting information, and he has videos that give the entire breadth and scope of the law of self-defense. The video that he did is, you know, if you have an NRA sticker, can someone just call up and say, hey, you know, if he has an NRA sticker, more than likely he has a gun in the car. Let's try to get this person in trouble. So I think it's also very important to go to Ethical Preparedness website and view this, and because it kind of corroborates exactly what we're trying to achieve here, is being the gray man. All right, not sticking out in any fashion with a bunch of stickers or sayings on your T-shirt, because it goes to your intent. Sometimes when officers look at a car, like we had a shooting back here in Rochester in July, where the officer put in the report that the shooter had a bumper sticker on his car that said, gun control means hitting your target. Police officers will put that in, and it will go toward your intent.
He's telling me he had this and was holding it out the window. I mean, maybe from a distance you could think this is a gun, but that's a big difference between that and this. Right now it's looking like this guy's going to spend the night in jail.
See, and that's my point. To you and I, you know, the people who are listening to this, they've had guns in their hands 100 times. That girl in her car, I doubt if she has ever had a gun in her hand. When the officer put it up and pointed it like a gun, it's nighttime. You know, I don't know what's been going on. She's probably already hypersensitive that she could be attacked with a gun. Who knows? Now the officer is going to go over to her and ask this simple question. I think this is a huge mistake. Now, granted, I don't know if this is out of sequence and how the editor put everything together, but you don't come up to a witness and say, does this look familiar? You go to her and say, what did the gun look like?
Right now it's looking like this guy's going to spend the night in jail. Does this look familiar?
Yes.
Okay. You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what can you do with that? You're basically leading the witness. Hey, does this gun look familiar? Yes, that's exactly what I saw.
Thank you.
There you go. You're under arrest for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I truly believe that this guy did not brandish his gun. He was ahead of the curve. The way that it was presented to me and the editing sequence, he was ahead of the officer's questions. Most people cannot get ahead of the officer's questions. Most people are going to be reacting to the officer's questions. He never said, in the sequence that I saw, he never said that, did you have anything outside the window? No. The Uber driver clearly said that he stuck his phone outside the window. And let's face it, a black with a blue line on top, it could be reasonable to see another guy, especially given the fear nature that some women have, and it's taught, you know, if you're a feminist, it's taught to feminism that women are victims of men's crimes all the time. It could truly believe, she could truly believe that phone was a weapon, and I'm not disputing that at all. My entire thing is that this guy was ahead of it and said that he stuck the phone out the window. Does that excuse him for his bad behavior? Absolutely not. No way does this just justify him tapping on the brakes and maybe scaring some a lady in her car late at night. Now, this is the part where ethical preparedness was talking about. Will a sticker get you into trouble? I'm not sure. I doubt if this lady saw this sticker on the back of his Uber car, but...
So on top of that sticker, you got the Superman law enforcement sticker. I don't know if this guy just wanted to be a cop all his life and decided to take the law into his hands this one time, but you know, I appreciate the support.
Now, this is the thing. I think Officer Ramos here, I don't think he's really getting it. I think that he probably does want to be a cop. He does have a handgun in the center console, but he used the words brandishing. He knew that if you stuck the gun out, it's going to be brandishing. He used that word first. And I think this Officer Ramos, in my opinion, had a biased agenda that the woman was a victim. She saw what she saw, and it didn't go from there. Now, in his mind, is there probable cause? Yeah, because he went up to the woman and said, "Hey, does this gun look familiar?" Was she supposed to say no? Especially after she said that she saw a gun. Well, that must have been it. He took the gun out of the car. Well, that must have been the gun he pointed at me. All right. But the bigger picture here is, you know, don't trust the cop to get it right. All right. When you are not the complainant, when you are not the so-called victim, and you had it, well, how do you know? How does she know that you had the gun in the car? Well, I don't know. Maybe she looked at these two stickers. It could happen. You know, people who put a bumper sticker on the car, this car insured by Smith & Wesson, you know, you're opening yourself up to intent issues if you are ever in a use of force event. And the sad thing about this is, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about this, is that if you are arrested for an aggravated assault charge, now let's just say that this goes to the DA. The DA says, it's more of a he said, she said scenario. I think the phone is a little bit more has a plausibility. We're going to drop the charges. All right. Let's just say that happens, but the next time you are pulled over by a cop and he runs well, in Minnesota it's called a D2000 check, which is within the state of Minnesota, or an NCIC check, it's going to show that you were arrested for assault with a deadly weapon. Guess what that does? It heightens the alert of that officer who stopped you. Guess what? You're going to get more questions. From here to eternity, even though that it was that the DA didn't want to pursue this, that arrest record is going to be in a database somewhere for the rest of your life. And every time you're going to be pulled over, that cop is going to have to wonder now, well, he was arrested for an aggravated assault. I don't know if he still has a gun. I don't know that it was dismissed or what the circumstances was behind it. He's going to come back to you and start asking more questions. Again, Dale Carson has a great book about it. It is keeping yourself from not getting arrested. Every time your name goes into that computer, you have a greater shot of getting into the quagmire of the legal justice system. If you have a gun, it is imperative that you stay out of these kinds of situations. My name is Jeff. This is 2A Self-Defense Law. I hope this helped.